Hi, good day to you. Welcome to my channel once again. Welcome to Daily Code Challenges. All right, today is day 22, and we have another very exciting session, another very interesting challenge. All right, so let's check it out. All right, so I'm just going to increase or zoom in the screen, then close the terminal. Okay, so what do we have today? We have Pig Latin, right? So Pig Latin is a fun take on the English language where you move any consonant cluster from the start of the word to the end of the word. Then when words begin on a vowel, you simply add ye, right? So line 7 says write a function called pig Latin word that takes in a word string and translate the word into Pig Latin. All right, so we are also there's a method suggested to us to use, right? On line 12, it says for words that start with a vowel, add yay to the end of the word. For words that start with a non-vowel, move all letters that come before the first vowel to the end of the word, then add ay. Okay, so let's see what exactly this means on line 16 to line 19. Let's use the invoked functions here to see what exactly it means. Okay, so it is stated that when the string begins with a vowel, we simply just add yay to the word itself. That's why here we have apple yay. Same thing here. This string begins with e, therefore we have the entire word which is eat, then yay. We have banana. Banana begins with a B, so we are not going to have banana here. Rather, we are told to move every word, every character, right, that comes before the first vowel. We move it to the end of the string itself, then add a Y. That's why we have anana here. Then B, which is here, is also placed at the end of this word banana, excluding the B that starts it. So we have anana B, then add the AY, that's anana B. Same goes to trash. We have TR. So T and R are the characters before the first vowel. So we remove T and R, we add it to the end of this word, becoming ash TR, then add AY to it. That's why here we have ash TRAY or ashtray. All right, so let's see how we can implement this. Okay, so we were asked to use the slice method, right? Okay, so let me put myself up to speed on how the slice method works. I am going to use a word called JavaScript and use the slice method on it. JavaScript dot slice. So slice accepts two arguments, specifically numbers. Yes. So it accepts one argument or two. I think it accepts three too. But let's let's use some examples to see how we can use slice. So I'm going to put 0 here, then I log this using the console log. All right, let me comment this, save this, and then let me run this code. Console log JavaScript slice 0. Let's run it again. Okay, so here we have JavaScript. Let us use 3 and see what we get. 3, we have a script. Let us use for. We have scripts. Okay, so what is going on here? Um, I think for here is the index of each of the is the index of a character, right? Let's count starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think this is why, because S is on index 4, I believe that's the reason why the sliced word is script, right? So because S is on index 4, that's why we have script. Okay, so this is slice accepting just one character as an argument. Let's work with slice accepting two character arguments. Let's say we have 0 comma 4 itself. Yes, let us use 4, 0 comma 4. Let's run this. We have scripts, then we have Java. Okay, so I think what this is actually trying to point to us is that we are going to slice from the first character itself and then up to the fourth character, which is the same thing as saying the third index, right? So, all right, so I believe we can work with this now in our code. So again, I am going to comment this out. We only use this to check how we could use slice, and I'm going to uncomment this. Okay, so firstly, let us write a function that adds year to a character string to a string that begins with a vowel. So we say function. So let's give our function a name. I think a name. Okay, let's use, we have pig Latin. So here we simply just write pig Latin, then we select the autocomplete, and then in it let's write a let's give a name to the parameter. I think here we can just say str, or we can also just say word, right? Then curly brace. Okay, so here we've declared our function with its name and the parameter given. The next thing we want to do is we want to add year to every word that begins with a vowel. So we simply say if vowel. Before this, we need to define vowel, right? So we need to assign a string to the vowel variable name. We say const vowel equals A-E-I-O-U. Okay, here we can say if vowel dot includes. So there's a method called includes. Includes works almost similarly with index of, but here when we use includes, we simply just say includes, then whatever variable we want to place inside this parenthesis, right? Yes, so whatever variable we want to place inside this parenthesis. In our case, we want to put in word, and not just word. On line 12, it says for words that start with a vowel, add y to the end of the word. That means that you want to look for the first character we have in that string, in the arguments, right? So what is going to be the index of the first character? Is going to be index 0. So we say word 0. If vowel includes word 0, what should we do? Let's write the curly brace. We simply just say return word plus y. That means I want to return the word itself, which can be apple, eat, banana, or trash. We return it with, then we add y to it before we return. So this is going to be a single string because we are concatenating using the addition sign. Let's save this and let's run our code to see if we are on the right track. Okay, all right. So here we have apple, that's apple year. Let's see what we have in our result. Apple year. All right, that's correct. We have it year because it begins with E. All right. But the other two invoked functions with arguments banana and trash, they gave undefined because they don't start with vowels, right? And we've not written any conditions for them to return anything. That's why we have undefined for the both of them. So they both are going to be what we'll be solving next. All right, before we proceed, I would just like to say that includes works almost similarly to index of, but when we are using index of, let's remove includes and try index of. When we are using index of, we write index of, but we don't stop here. We come here and say not equal to -1. So when we are using index of, this is just the changes we need to implement. Let's run this code and see if that's correct. Let me run again. Okay, yeah. So we have apple here, we have it here, right? That works for index of. All right. So now it's our choice to use index of or to use includes. But I think in the instruction here says we should use. Okay, there is really nothing in the there is really no specific way to solve this in the instruction. But if you are confident, we are comfortable with the use of index of, fine. If not, you can use includes. Includes also is very okay and it's even shorter, right? You don't have to write all these blah blah. No. So let's reverse it to how it was when we used includes. All right. Let me clear this terminal and then run again to be sure that we are on the right track. Oh, something happened, I think. Includes is not defined. Let's save this again. I think something just went wrong. Let's run this. Okay, all right. So we are back to a working code. Yeah. All right. Now, for the next part, we want to solve for words that don't have vowels starting them, right? Here we might need to loop, we might need to iterate through the words because we want to traverse to characters that are vowels and then the event kicks off from there. Here we simply just use a for loop. We say for, as you all know by now, I love to use I as my index. I'll just say I, then I remove array here and replace it with word. Also, I don't need this line, I take it off. Here we are going to write a condition and say that if the word does not start with a vowel, right? That's the first condition we want to try with. Then after that works, we move to the next condition. We say if, you can just copy this, place it here, but it doesn't end there. We come here and then we put the exclamation mark, which is more like a negation to this, right? So this, the exclamation mark, it simply reverses whatever words, whatever vowel dot include gives. This reverses it. So what this is saying is that it wants to check for all the words that don't start with a vowel. That's why we have this exclamation mark. Okay, so let's return something. Let's say we want to return no. We are just trying this to see if our logic is correct. This is not instruction. We are not asked to return no. Then I'll save this and then run. Okay, here we have apple year, it's here, we have no, no. All right. So our logic is working fine, right? Now, what were we asked to return? before we even return anything, we just wrote the condition for words that don't start with vowel. But that's not the end. There's something we also need to add. What do we need to add? We need to also confirm that the word contains at least a vowel character, right? So we say if word does not contain vowel, and you can just come here again, copy this, then place it here, then remove the zero and then put I. So what this means is that while looping through each of the words, we are trying to check if any of the characters in the word is a vowel. That's what this means. Because we have to work with words with vowels. If we get any word that has vowel, then we have to write the condition for it. In this case, we simply just move all the characters before the first vowel. We take it to the end of the word itself and then add AY to it. Okay. So having done this, the next we want to do is we say we want to return word dot splice. Now, sorry, not splice, slice rather. What do we want to slice? Looking at the example we actually did on line 34 and 35, when we sliced 4, we had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had scripts. That means that the the sliced word started with S, right? Okay, and then when we slice 0 to 4, we had Java. Then how will this work? What do we put in here? Because we were asked to remove the first non-vowel character and place it to the end. So here, let's put 0 and see if that works. I doubt if that works actually. Let's run this. Okay, so we have apple ye eat a banana trash. Okay, so here we don't have to use 0. What we need to put is we need to put the index at which the first vowel appears, and that index is represented with I. So we simply just place I here, then we save. Let's run this and see. Here we are expected to have anana for this, and then we are expected to have ash for this. Let's see if that works. All right, we have apple here, eat here, anana. Yes, we are on the right track. Then we have ash. All right. So next we want to do, we have to concatenate it with the character B that we are taking to the end of the word or the string. So here we say plus, that's concatenation, word dot slice. Here, what are we going to slice now? We are going to slice from the first index, which already we know is not a vowel. We have to slice from that to the index of the index before the first vowel. So we say slice 0, comma I. Let's save that. Let's run this. Oh, beautiful. So here we have anana B, yes, and then here we have ash TR. Okay, because here we've already gotten anana B, here we've gotten ash TR. All right, so the last thing we want to do is we want to add a Y to our slice string, because we were asked to do that. That's what we have on line 14. From line 13, it says, for words that start with a non-vowel, move all letters that come before the first vowel to the end of the word, then add a Y. All right, so this is the last step we want to take here. So I simply just remove this and say plus AY. Then I hit the save button, and then let's run this and see if we have the required results. Okay, so we are expected to have apple year, it year, ananabe, and ashtray. Let's see what we have. Apple year, correct. It year, correct. Ananabe, correct. And ashtray, yes. So we've been able to have a very good code implementation for pig Latin word using the includes method and also slice. We could as well use, I think we can as well use splice, right? So it depends on the programmer, the person who is actually doing this. You can as well just use index of and then you use splice with it. If that works fine for you, awesome, as long as it works, right? So here I used includes and I used slice. So here is it. We've been able to write the code implementation for pig Latin, and I must confess this is kind of challenging, right? When we started this code challenge, right, we had so many easy challenges, but now hey, we've been solving kind of complex ones, right? So, and the good part is we've been doing them well, right? So I believe it's all about practice, regular practice, consistency, not giving up. Yeah, so we grind every day. All right, so thanks for having me today. Thanks for joining this challenge, and I hope seeing you tomorrow. Yeah, have a nice time. Bye.